We start today with another Bible reading, this time taken from Matthew chapter 26. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little further, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." He went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more and prayed the third time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners." I don't know about you, but this is a scenario I can kind of relate to. There have been many times in my life when I've been praying late at night only to wake up the following morning to realize that I must have fallen asleep whilst praying. In this Bible reading, Jesus' crucifixion is just a few hours away. He knows that it's coming, and he's in the Garden of Gethsemane with his disciples. Now, Gethsemane means olive press. Now hold that thought as you hear the words of Brother Ramon, the 20th century Franciscan monk who wrote this. It's as if Jesus is being crushed under the world's sin so that the oil of forgiveness could be poured out into the world's wounds. It's a desperate picture, desperate pain, but somehow in and with the pain there is hope. There is hope because Jesus was fully surrendered to his Father's will. Jesus was crying out to his Father in the agony of what faced him, yet not my will, but always yours, he prays. Somehow he found the strength to say yes. He knew what was ahead of him, and yet he chose to face it for us, to give us hope. Well, we don't face crucifixion. Jesus' path was one which only he could tread. And yet we are called to follow in his footsteps. So how do we reconcile those two thoughts? Well, Jesus asked the disciples to pray for him, to pray with him. But what happened? They fell asleep when Jesus needed them most. Of course, we don't know why they were so tired, what sort of week they'd had, and I'm certainly not going to blame them, but I wonder what application we can take from this scenario. We may not literally fall asleep when Jesus asks us to do something, but we can get careless and caught off guard. We might just find we don't have the strength, the stamina, the inclination to carry on. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak. Well, that's certainly true, but perhaps, if I'm honest, I'm not sure the spirit is always willing either. As Christians, we know the end of the story. We know that through Jesus there is hope, there is purpose, there is reason to find the strength to say yes to whatever he's calling us to do. And so this Holy Week, this Easter season, may we have the strength, the courage to say, "Not my will, but your will, Lord." So I'll read to you a poem by Eddie Eskew. Not my will, but yours. I can say it easily enough, but my heart shrinks back in case you ask for more than I can give, or more than I want to give. You know I love you, Lord, but I can be fearful, finding it easier to hide away, to sleep and ignore the challenge ahead. You know my heart, Lord. I want to be all and do all I can for you, but I fear letting you down, falling asleep on the job, not quite good enough. But then I'm forgetting grace, your grace, the full, free and undeserved favour and love of God my Father. Your grace covers me, fills in the gaps, puts a different light on my restless understanding and comforts my prodigal heart. You love me, Lord, and simply want my yes. Today, now, that is all, and you have it. Yes to all that you have for me, with my grateful thanks.